Before we begin, just a tiny favor to ask.
If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you're on Spotify, tap follow.
It's free and it helps more Otome fans find these incredible indie creators.
And it protects us from any mysterious curse lurking around.
So welcome back to another episode of the Otome Games Podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am Lover's Lens.
And I'm Morig. Today we have a very special guest. Nocturne, the solo developer behind the fantasy Otome visual novel Eternal Glory.
A one-person powerhouse creating 270,000 plus word game with Divine Men. Nocturne, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, Lens and Morig. It's so nice to meet you, and thank you for hosting this interview. I'm Nocturne, a solo indie Otome game developer, and as you introduced, I'm currently working on the Eternal Glory project.
That's great. How did you start making games?
I started making games at my middle school, probably. It was I had to do my homework making UCC. Do you call it UCC in your country too?
I'm not sure what the UCC means, honestly.
Is like campaign, video for a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I don't think we ever had that, actually.
No. We're like a little bit
behind.
We're behind. Our country is 10 years behind. If Europe and Korea is going with like a very strong pace, we're 10 to 20 years behind everything else. Yeah. But that's another topic. So you made computer game for homework for school?
Yeah, that's correct. I had to do my homework, making videos. So I made the small game by RPG Maker VX8. So I played the game and recorded it, and then subjected.
Very nice. It seems that a lot of developers in this sphere especially seem to start with RPG Maker, actually.
And also in very early age. I mean, this is not the first time we hear that someone started making computer games when they were in high school, for example, which I envy a lot. Like, the best I could get in high school was chemistry homework. What is this?
And meanwhile, here people in other countries get to make games and videos.
Yeah. Not fair. Different governmental structure, you know.
But going back on topic, for everyone who's hearing about Eternal Glory for the first time, could you give us a quick overview of the story?
Yes. Eternal Glory follows a young woman who lost her loved ones, like her families, to a mystery curse and sets out to break it in order to reclaim her life. Along her journey, she encounters divine men who initially join her purely to pursue the same goal, like to break the curse or to get rid of the curse. However, she soon discovers that each of them carries significant hidden truths. As she uncovers these secrets, she's drawn into a deeper story, one that inevitably leads her toward love. And that's the Otome game Eternal Glory.
So the game opens with the tragedy. Mysterious curse strips our main heroine of her joy, her normal life, and even her parents' life. Literally, it takes everything from her. And 9 years later, she returns home and meets 3 men who turn out to be the heads of divine organizations. So this is the divine men you were talking about. What inspired this premise?
I think the idea of creating divine organizations and the world shaped by them is something I've wanted to build since I was young. Perhaps even back in middle school, and I've always loved fantasy in every form, whether it was movie, novels, webtoons, or games. And I had a very strong desire to create a fantasy world of my own. As for what I chose to make a fantasy Otome game specifically, it's because I've always loved romance and romance fantasy works as well, especially web novels and webtoons and Otome games. So blending those two genres felt natural to me, and I wanted to create a story that brings together everything I enjoy.
Is this your first game that you ever make? Like, I mean, officially.
Yeah,
commercial game.
Officially and commercially, this is my first game, yes.
Quite
Okay.
impressive for a first game, actually.
True. So you do the programming, you do the art yourself, and the writing,
Yeah,
everything. Wow,
yeah.
amazing! Like I always admire
Oh.
solo devs.
Actually, music is not music. I paid to the composer and get
Yeah.
documents.
That's
And
usually the case. Like this is the one thing
Yeah.
that solo developers don't do.
Yeah.
But it's understandable.
You're not the first actually that we've had here who's I make
I do
everything,
everything,
except
but the
music is
yeah.
beyond me.
Yeah.
I just pay someone
Yeah.
else for that one.
But we have a solo developer who sang her own songs, by the way.
Oh,
Like this
that
is
is
impressive. This is impressive as well.
But-
So yeah.
I also like that pretty much everyone who has a passion for world building does either one of two or three things. Gets into the visual novel sphere and like you makes a game out of it, or becomes a dungeon master and starts gaming to friends.
Sometimes both.
Sometimes both.
Yeah. So let's get back to the story, Morig.
Yes.
We're going on a tangent again. Let's not do
We
that.
So I love the tone of the game. It's about divine power, fate, and a girl trying to desperately escape her curse. What emotional experience do you want players to have after playing the game?
Players can deeply immerse themselves in the MC's emotional journey as she interacts with the male leads. I intentionally kept the childhood portion of the story brief so I could focus on her emotional growth afterward, how her relationship with each man, Uria, and Ismei, evolve and eventually lead to love. I focused on their relationship. So from their first impressions to the subtle shifts in how they treat her, to the moment they begin to see her as someone dear to them, and finally, DMC herself acknowledging her feelings and overcoming her hardships through that love. I want players to truly feel and follow every part of that emotional progression.
So the center is basically the how should I say it? The
Flow? Like emotional flow?
yes, I didn't want to say like emotions again, but the interactions with the men themselves, how you progress your feelings with them, they're basically the center of the story in a way.
Yeah. Yes,
Well, that's understandable for a Otome game.
Yes,
yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
also
this is-
obsessed, as someone obsessed also with world building, I appreciate a lot of the background details, like the curse, the history with the ministries and the gods rumored to roam the earth.
The world building in Eternal Glory is like really rich. We have ministries, we have Reaper Corps, we have Holy Knights, all with their own hierarchy and rules. What inspired you to create this world? Where did that came from? Like you manage different, you mentioned different webcomics and I guess games and books and fantasy as a genre, but is there something in particular that inspired this world?
Not particularly, but rather than pointing to one specific work, I think it was all the fantasy stories I've enjoyed over the years that really shaped me, and that is what helped me build my own world. I think there's not the one work that inspired this game. Just every games, webtoons, web novels, movies, games, that inspired me. Every work.
Okay, I get it. So generally, fantasy as a genre made you think about this world, and you were like, But it's quite different though.
slowly
Then-
constructing it by the influences you had, basically.
But there's one really important Otome game to me that really made me want to make Otome game in the future. So there was a significant game actually. But
Do you mind sharing it with us, or?
Which one is
yes,
it?
I already shared it with other interviewer. Yes, so I'm fine with sharing it.
Okay.
So it's Japanese Otome game Ephemeral. That it's on Steam. It's also on Steam, and it's also dark fantasy.
I never heard of it.
It has beautiful art. Like I googled it, and
Can
it
you
has
tell us?
beautiful.
I really loved it, and I played it in my middle school. I really loved it, and I still have the app on my phone.
That's quite cool.
So it's quite a old game.
Yeah. Yes.
I can see that Blurdy Otome did I think she included it in some kind of a game review article. Okay, we're definitely checking this game out.
Yes, you gotta give it this. But
Yeah.
back to your game, let's
Yes.
talk about the love interest, starting with Uria. The kind, polite head of the divine ministry. He's gentle, but something feels a bit unsettling about him underneath. What makes Uria such a lair character?
In Korea, there's this idea of slit-eyed character, like someone who looks calm and gentle on the surface, but once they open their eyes, their real intimidating nature comes out. Uria isn't exactly that type, of course, but characters who hide something beneath a polite exterior are always intriguing because you never know how they will reveal themselves to the MC. I wanted Uria to have that kind of unique charm as a love interest.
I definitely got that vibe from him, especially when he was testing. I don't think this is much of a spoiler. I'll just say it. When he was testing you for your magic potential, and that whole interaction felt very eerie to me. Like from him not stating outright that he was going to use that restraining spell, it felt that he was definitely a bit darker than he seemed at first glance.
Yeah, and the scene that you said is really important scene. It's really important scene, and
Yeah.
you can check it in the later story. Yes.
So I guess you paid attention to the right parts, Morig.
Yes. I was like, this seems intentional. This is not okay that he's doing right now. He should have warned me about this before doing it.
So, moving on, of course, I am always into the toxic guys. Morig knows. Morig
Yep.
bullies me for that. But
It's not bullying, it's called teasing.
bullying, teasing for me is the same thing, okay? Maybe without the negative aspect, okay. Well, let's go with teasing then, if that makes you sleep better at
Yes.
night. So, next is our toxic boy, Karro. So he's the head of the Reaper Corps and a total wild card. He's impulsive, unpredictable, yet strangely possessive and a bit abusive, I would note. What was the process behind making a character like Heis?
Honestly, one of my very, very, very character archetypes in subculture is the handsome, crazy guy type. Of course, not my real. Of course, this is not my real life ideal type.
Yeah. As long
Yeah.
as you can engage with them from a safe distance, like a
Yeah.
video game.
That's because you probably never had seen a guy like that in real life. That's
Yeah,
why,
of course,
I guess.
of course. Yeah.
When he comes and when he's wholesome and everything and like tells you I'm gonna kidnap you and we go to Bali, for example, you go. Like you won't say no. I don't know,
Yeah.
just teasing.
Yeah, back to the interview. Yeah, just Heis is the character who reflects my fantasy preference the most. I think there's something really charming about those slightly unhinged tsundere types, the ones who seem deranged but still show surprising warmth toward DMC. I felt that contrast would make him especially appealing.
Yeah, he's a classic tsundere. And like he's like, I don't care about you and your stupid shit. And then he's like, maybe you should stay closer. I love that type of characters. And I had great fun actually interacting with him. And he's also very attractive, the sprite.
Every
for
game
me.
I can predict which route you're choosing.
That's a lie? That's an absolute lie, Morik. It's almost every
exception.
game. Yes, there was one exception, but there is one exception. Like, it's better than zero. Okay, moving on.
And finally, we have Ismei, the disciplined, strict head of the Holy Knights. He's harsh with the heroine, but also keeps her close. What's the heart of his route?
Ismei doesn't have any of those mysterious, rebellious, or unpredictable traits you often see in other love interests. He's the exact opposite. Steadfast, disciplined, and almost unnervingly upright. That unwavering solidity is basically his defining trait. So in his route, players will get to see everything that strength can lead to, and also what happens when the solidity finally cracks. His story explores both the impact of his firmness and the struggles that come when it's shaken.
So he's kind of a what you see what is what you get kind of character, where you can safely choose him if you're not into like bad boys or
Yeah.
What do you mean not into bad boys? Is there a person who's not into bad boys?
Yes, I like nice people.
Like, bad boys are nice people as well.
Okay.
Like, have you seen most of our friends? Like, most of them, they're bad boys, but they're nice people as well. I'm proving you wrong? Okay.
Look, I love them. I wouldn't date them.
Well, that's another topic. So, moving back. Okay, today we're going into a lot of tangents. I am sorry, Nocturne. Like, we're
It's okay.
we're having a lot of fun today.
Funny. I think it's funny, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
allowed. As long as what was the rule of comedy? If the joke lands, it can stay.
How do we know it landed? It's only
I
me
don't
and you.
know.
We laugh a lot. Okay, so let's get back to the precious game. So we haven't talked about the main character. We haven't talked about Aness, right? Am I saying it right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, our heroine is someone who refuses to let tragedy break her. She doesn't really identify with her trauma, which I loved. What did you want players to feel as they follow her path to reclaiming herself in the game?
I hope players can feel not only the fluttery romantic feelings she goes through, but also the sorrow and pain that come with her more tragic moments. I wanted players to feel like exciting moments and tragic moments both, so that makes your emotional experience more like almost like
The highs and the lows, as they say.
yeah. That's what I wanted.
Did you base your heroine on someone?
On a real person
Like,
or a
on a
person
real
from
person.
a story. So,
No. I created as a fantasy person.
Character.
I did a character. Yeah.
Okay.
completely original.
Yeah.
Completely original.
Very nice. And I think that's all of the characters, so we can move on to the art, visuals, and atmosphere. So the visuals are gorgeous, with hand-drawn backgrounds, expressive CGs, and a UI that shifts based on fiction. What inspired the aesthetic direction of the game?
I took a lot of inspiration from various Otome games, anime, webtoons, and illustration from subculture style games. Yeah.
I definitely see see it when you mention it. It's especially webtoons, I think.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like,
Honestly, Yeah, continue, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just the subculture games like Genshin.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get it.
Like that.
So
Oh,
I think your
yeah.
art is great, by the way. Like the CGs are very nice. I love the characters and their outfits and everything. So I would guess that you're artist mainly.
Not actually.
Really?
I'm not the professional.
That's
Maybe you should think
surprising,
about
actually.
being a professional.
have you considered opening commissions or something?
Yeah.
I sometimes get commissions, but not outsourcing. Because in my country, commissions are lower than outsourcing, and professionals don't get commissions. They only get outsourcing. Yeah.
I'm not even sure what's the difference exactly. What isn't outsourcing
yeah.
like a private commission for a firm or something?
Like the copyrights. So like
It's copyright.
yeah, like the you can use the illustration commercially when you outsource it, but not commissions. You can't use commercially the commission illustrations.
So if it's commissioned, the copyright stays with the author, the artist, and if it's outsourced, a company is handling the copyright, so they can do whatever they want with your stuff. They can use it for marketing, for us, or whatever. Yeah, okay. Like get money out of it.
If they made that contract. Yeah.
Okay, now I understand. But honestly, your art is great, and maybe think about the profession there. Like, it's,
thank you so much.
Like, I wouldn't say that it's like self-taught or something. It's great. So, I have some questions about the voice acting too. How was the experience of casting and directing voice actors as a solo developer? That's a lot.
Just trying something new is always full of things to learn, and it definitely isn't easy. Working with voice actors was the same kind of challenge for me. I can't explain all of the process, but it was really hard and challenging for me because it was first time.
And you have no experience with it till now.
Yeah, it was really hard experience.
I've personally never had experience with having to direct people for voice acting and casting, but I have a friend who does, and just listening to their struggles, I understand what you mean. It can be quite hard.
Wow.
Especially when you're working with someone who is in a different time zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you have to work with 4 different voice actors, for example. They don't know each other. You have to make it sound cohesive, like they're having a conversation or something.
Yeah, while
crazy.
each of them is sending their own lines. They're not in a booth talking to each other. I definitely see the struggle.
Yeah. But you managed. So nothing is impossible. And we're moving to the gameplay and development part of the interview. So we have 3 individual routes, 20 chapters each, 30 plus CGs per character, voice acting. By the way, 30 plus CGs per character, that's a lot as well.
That's so much.
Yes, and the voice acting, as we said, and it's generally the project is huge. Especially for the solo dev, especially for a first project. Tell us, what are the biggest challenges that you're facing aside the voice acting?
Honestly, every single moment has been a huge challenge for me. Writing the script, drawing the illustrations, building the game, and even adding the voice acting. There hasn't been a single part that felt easy. Sadly, that's just how it is. Everyone making a game is really something else. But still, I think the hardest part is simply that as a solo dev, I have to handle absolutely everything on my own. That's the hardest part. So
yeah, I can see that. You're basically responsible for the whole thing coming together.
But there's a good thing in that. You're basically responsible for everything. Like it's a bad and it's a good thing at the same time because you
Means you have
that's
control, full creative control.
Yes, exactly. Like if you want something to be done a certain way, you can do it yourself the way you want to invest time in it. But I guess time management becomes an issue.
Yeah, every soul dev says it's good and bad to be alone at the same time.
Yeah.
But generally, I noticed that the Otome community, the Otome developer community is very friendly and people tend to help each other a lot. So...
I also noticed that it might be like the scene, the genre of games with the most solo devs.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, maybe because the production pipeline is a little bit easier than, for example, an RPG game.
You can't make an RPG as a solo dev or an MMO, for instance.
Well,
just
think
impossible.
about no. Wait a second. I'm gonna argue here. Think about Valheim. It started
That's
as a
not
solo
one
dev. It started as a solo dev project.
Okay, fair enough.
It grew bigger with a couple of years, but people were very, very interested. I might be lying, though. I have to check that.
I
later.
will Google the statement.
Yes, Google it. We can discuss it later.
After the podcast.
After we finish the recording, we're gonna discuss this. So, yeah.
So, you also created a unique chapter-based quick save load system. Why did you choose that approach instead of the traditional slot save system that most visual novels have?
Since the game is structured very clearly by chapters, I felt like a traditional slot-based save system wasn't really necessary. You could say the idea of slots is basically built into the chapters themselves. That's why I thought it made more sense to let players save a specific moment within each chapter, almost like adding a little bookmark. And having both slots and chapters at the same time might just confuse players, so I wanted to keep it simple.
So, players just get to choose between the chapters instead of having a save slot and going to the save slot. And I see the logic behind that.
But still, some players were confused.
I was a bit confused the first time because on the main menu screen I didn't notice a load button and I had saved my progress but once I started from the chapter I did see the load button and I got to the point I was it works pretty well, honestly. And also right now early access includes Uria's full route and the first chapter of Haze and Ismei. What has early player feedback been like so far?
It feels like the reactions were pretty split. Some players really loved the game just from the demo alone, and full game. They also loved full game, while sadly others, especially those who prefer more traditional Otome games, felt it wasn't their style and didn't enjoy it as much.
I see.
Well, that's understandable as well. People like different flavors of tea as well.
Yeah.
That's normal. But the community in general, as I mentioned before, that it's very welcoming. People are very nice and supporting. And I bet that the players that actually liked your project were very, very supportive.
See, if you want an unsupportive community of gamers, you should check out FPS or MOBAs. MOBAs especially.
Looking ahead, what can people expect from this project and from you?
Instead of just playing through Haze and Ismei's full stories, players will get to see how all three love interests roots come together to form one complete narrative.
Are you planning to keep making visual novels and Otome games? That in the future?
I'm not sure yet, but I would love to if I can.
So it depends kind of on the success of this game, maybe, or
maybe I have energy left
Yes.
Yes.
Completely
Yeah.
completely understandable.
Again on the solo dev topic, I mean, maybe you can find a team and do the
Yeah,
art
but yeah.
and let them handle the hard part.
Yeah.
Well, all the part is the hard part.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
True.
There's no easy
Eh.
part in making a game.
Yeah, true. Like, I think the hardest part is marketing, but we tend to say that almost in every episode.
Okay, the hardest part is marketing because no one wants to do marketing if they spent all of their time making a game.
Yeah, true.
It's like, oh my god, now I have to like go
make
online
people play it?
yeah.
Ah. Yeah.
And it's because it feels completely different than the project, the process of developing a game. This is a bit off topic, but I have to say it. If you're a game dev, you probably enjoy making games, but marketing is so different
Yeah,
that and it doesn't feel as rewarding. Like when you finish an art piece or a chapter, you got this sense of completion, like, hey, I got here. But there's no like way to get that same feeling from making posts on online and trying to get people's attention. There's just a numbers game. You're trying to increase the number of
Yeah. Yeah, and
True.
we can see the result of the marketing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So next on, I want to ask. So we talked about early access, but what made you decide to release the game in stages?
Yeah. That's because the volume was too big to release one at one time. So
Yeah,
20 what
20 chapters per character
Yep,
is
yep.
yeah, and
quite big. But why not write everything and release a full game immediately?
I
that's
guess.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just I don't have that energy to and I actually I wanted the people's reaction earlier and get the support from them and then get on the next step.
Yeah, that's a very good strategy. Actually, it gets attention. It keeps your game relevant for community.
Yeah.
It's community building, basically.
Yeah. And also, I guess it helps when you don't know if people are going to like your product or not. So you get
You
early
can gauge
feedback,
and yeah.
and you see how it's going, if something needs changing and stuff like that. And we're almost at the end of our interview today, and it's the exclusive content question time. So for our listeners who adore a little secret, can you share a small exclusive thing about Eternal Glory? It could be a teaser, it could be a story, it could be a CG. Like, what did you got today?
Actually, the motives for Eternal Glory's characters and world building came from a portfolio project I prepared back when I was getting ready to apply to university. If I were to point to the earliest concept art, it would definitely be the pieces I created during that time. Like, I can send some the earlier arts to
I'd love
by
to see
email.
that.
Yeah, I would love to see that, and if that's okay, you can send it over in an email, and I will include it in the article because I personally adore early concepts. I hope our readers adore early concepts as well, because that's what I'm usually aiming
That's
for
like
with the exclusive content question.
Watching the thought process of how a character's design came to life.
Yes, like it's very nice to see how they change or how they didn't change from the beginning. How clear was the concept in the beginning, how everything took shape. It's very, very interesting. And since I'm not an artist, to me it looks like magic.
Actually, the portfolio was like reference, and I draw the Eternal Glory's characters at once. So there's actually no direct concept art. That the university portfolio was reference, but I can say them as a early art. If I,
I mean, references
Is this, yeah, still works.
still in the same
Yeah.
ballpark.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's quite similar. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And before we wrap up, do you have any final words for our listeners?
Thank you so much to everyone who's shown interest in Eternal Glory. I'll do my best to bring you something truly amazing, something worth all your excitement and patience.
Thank you for joining us and sharing a behind-the-scenes look of Eternal Glory.
And you guys can wishlist Eternal Glory on Steam and play the early access route right now.
You've been listening to Lovers, Lens and Morig on the Otome Games Podcast.
Until next time, may your choices bring you Eternal Glory.